Welcome, everybody, to the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show presented by Caesars Sportsbook. Caesars Sportsbook, the home of Caesars Rewards. They've been riding with us all season long here. We've got the regular season, the playoffs. We're going to be going into the big game with Caesars Sportsbook. And halfway through the season, we have a brand new offer from Caesars Sportsbook before we get into our discussion of what happened in Week 12 and also our picks for Week 13. And also, if you're watching us, the offer's on the screen right now. You can actually see it pretty clearly. But here, for our listeners, if you head on over to Caesars.com/sportsbook-n-casino, that part did not change, and you sign up using our promo code PIKE, DYW.
DYW. Okay.
Basically, it's initials for double your winnings.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure that out. All right.
When you first sign up with the promo code PIKE, DYW, yes, I'm putting a special emphasis on the new promo code because it's different from the last one. When you make your first cash bet of $1 or more, you get the chance to double your winnings 10 times.
Okay.
You receive 10 100% profit boost tokens to be used on any event following that first dollar bet.
I love that.
Yes.
That's an awesome offer.
Well, you know what's really cool is it doesn't matter if it's a winning or losing wager. You make your first dollar bet.
Okay.
Dollar or more bet.
There you go.
Yeah, so Pike DYW. Double your winnings. Pike DYW when you first register, make your deposit, and with your first cash bet of $1 or more, you get 10 100% profit boost token to use on other events down the road there.
Awesome.
As always, terms and conditions apply, so please read those carefully. 21 years and older, problem gambling, 800-GAMBLER. Now, we just had a very interesting Week 12 again.
Yeah.
Some really cool games to watch, too. Some
by
fun
the way,
ones.
yeah, the Jets had a bye, so that means only one New York team embarrassed themselves.
Yes. And
I should say one New York City area team.
And we had a Dallas game that basically was boring up until the last minute or two.
Someone woke up those players.
Yeah, it was kind of weird to watch that, but it was also kind of fun. It was nice to actually see some actual good football coming out of two teams that are playing in a Dallas game. Usually it's only the other side lately that's playing good against Dallas, but both teams were playing pretty good.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. A lot of great games.
Yes.
I mean, there was one great game I was watching. The Vikings, they won, but they didn't cover, so that killed me. I went 1-2 this week. I was thinking I'll probably get 2 wins, but then all of a sudden the Vikings they won, but they won by 3. They didn't win by 3.5.
I think your weekend falls under bad beat.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
but. No. As always, we've been doing all of this way through the season. I've been looking back at these previous games from the previous week. We're in Week 13 right now.
Yep.
That's 36 games for us, by the way, that we've played. And
I don't keep count like that. So.
I kind of have to because I throw it up on the screen. I keep the stats up there.
You keep the stats up there?
If you're watching on TV, when we get to the point where we're going through our records before we do the rules for our pick segment, I'll be flashing our records there.
Okay. But I don't have a monitor, and I probably don't even want to see what my record is, so it's probably a good thing.
Well, we're going to start off going through some stats from Week 12. We've got Detroit, and I can't believe Detroit.
The one game I won. One game I won comfortably, so yeah, I love what Detroit's doing this year.
I got to admit, I am shocked at this stat. Detroit has scored a rushing touchdown in 25 straight games overall. That's an NFL record.
Wow.
They also have 22 straight regular season games with a rushing touchdown. That's the third time an NFL team has done it in the league history.
Absolutely amazing. An amazing year. I think it's a really historic year for Detroit, and it's great to see that city really. They always loved their Lions, but this is something special for the fans for Detroit to see. So good for them.
Well,
maybe the curse of Bobby Lane is gone this year.
Well, I only throw this stat out because if you see the betting prop rushing touchdowns for the Detroit Lions, they've done it 25 straight games, 22 straight regular season games.
I have to take a look at that now that you mentioned it. I wonder how
it goes under
that's
team
affected.
totals.
I know where it goes, but I'm just wondering if it just seems like it's a given now, and I wonder if it's valuable or it's a value bet kind of thing, or if just the numbers are just incredible.
Here's another number for you betting people out there. Buccaneers snapped a 3-game losing streak coming off their bye week. They are now They're 3-8 coming off their bye since 2013, but they just won their first one coming off a bye week.
The Giants made them look like world beaters.
Yes.
My goodness. And Tommy Cutlets got destroyed back.
Yes.
He had one sack that, oh my God, it shook the earth.
Yeah.
So
Carolina Panthers, only the third team in the Andy Reid era since 2013 that were able to score on 75% of their drives against the Chiefs.
Can I say that was the game? I was watching it on network TV. The early game stopped, and we had bonus coverage of Kansas City and Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And when that turned on, it was like, oh my God, this is amazing. But I'm trying to figure out, I kind of like Kansas City, what's happening, but they're not the explosive team, but they win when they have to win. And
they've won most of their games by one score.
It's just, I kind of almost think that speaks better of the players than blowing out everyone. You can
take that either way. You can go either way with that stat. You can say they're not as good as they used to be.
So going into the playoffs, they win. They just win. I mean, they didn't win against the Bills 2 weeks ago, but it's just they know how to win. That's one of those teams. Andy Reid knows how to win. Mahomes knows how to win. It just, it's one of those teams that they're not blowing people out, but it's kind of impressive of what they're doing with what they got.
Chicago Bears kicker Cairo Santos. His 3 blocked field goals are the most in the NFL this season.
Wow. Okay.
It's also Chicago's most in a season since 2012. They also had 3 that season. Will Levis, the Tennessee Titans quarterback, joined some interesting company here. The previous week in week 10, week 11, Levis was sacked 7 times by the Green Bay Packers in that game. Week 3, I'm sorry. I'm looking at my notes here. He was also sacked 7 times against last week. He became the first quarterback sacked at least 7 times in multiple halves in a season.
Wow.
Since Randall Cunningham with the Eagles in 1986.
Wow. That's
not great company.
No. Well, Randall Cunningham was an amazing quarterback in Philadelphia lore, so he was a different kind of quarterback. He ran around a lot, so I can understand why he has that many sacks. But Levis is, it's one of those things. It's a learning experience. So.
Indianapolis Colts, first loss in a game since January 2nd, 2022, where they did not commit a turnover. And still lost the game. That's an interesting stat for the Colts.
Yep.
Steelers,
they also played the best team in football.
Steelers are the only franchise that hasn't overcome a deficit of 12 or more points in the fourth quarter of a regular season game since 2000.
Wow, okay.
Eagles running back Saquon Barkley.
Amazing.
Career high 255 yards against the Rams. 9th most in the game in NFL history.
Yeah, and you count his receiving yards, he's well over 300.
He should be really considered almost for the MVP.
Absolutely historic game for the Eagles running back, and when you consider that the Eagles have been around since 1933, that's something special.
Franchise record for the team.
Yep.
Tua Taglia, however you say his last name. He's now 7-0 against the New England Patriots.
Something about playing in Miami, even
in New England, he's undefeated.
Let me tell you something. There's something about Miami, though. I mean, even when Tom Brady was the Patriots quarterback, they had real trouble playing in Miami and the Dolphins. So I don't know. It's that I guess a team always has that one team where it's just so difficult for them. So I think the Dolphins are the Patriots' kind of kryptonite kind of thing.
And Monday night's game, Derrick Henry. He had a 140-yard rushing night. 6th game with 100-plus yards rushing in 2024. He's tied for 2nd in such games this season. Saquon's got more, I believe.
Well, it's going to be them two all the way. If you're a big rushing fan and you want to see the rushing leaders, I think it's going to be between them two the entire season. And
20th career game with at least 140 yards rushing. He's tied now with Hall of Famer LaDainian Tomlinson for the 7th most games with that kind of rushing yardage.
Okay.
So those are the takeaways from Week 12. Again, some of these are really good to keep in mind when you're looking at the individual betting props for next week's games for these teams that are involved that are not on the bye. So keep those in mind. And here we are. We're moving over from Week 12. We're transitioning. There's a good word right there to Week 13 in our pick segment, which is coming up right after the break. But I'll go through the rules here, and we'll recap what we did last week as well. You already mentioned you went 1-2.
Yep.
I ended up going 3-0.
Nice. It's the second time you went perfect, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I'm hoping I continue at least the winning ways, because sometimes I just drop off at the end of the seasons. Right now, for a season long, you are 18, 17, and 1.
Okay.
And I am 25 and 11.
Wow. Nice.
No pushes yet. Usually by this time I at least have at least 1 or 2 pushes.
Yeah. So
I'm kind of avoiding the push this year. But here we are. We're going to be going to our pick segment. And I'll go through the rules real quickly here, and then we'll redo them when we get back from the break. We use Caesars Sportsbook lines midweek, so keep checking the lines before you place a bet after hearing our show. We are using midweek lines. 3 games each. We do point spreads or totals. We don't do money lines. Kind of hard to do money lines for this.
Yeah. So
almost like a non-betting show kind of thing.
Right.
But well, we try and do
I
everything.
won my money line bet for the Vikings, but I lost it in the spread.
I missed a 6-game parlay on money lines.
Oh, okay.
So
there you go.
I had 5 out of the 6. But we do, like I said, 3 games each. We play against each other. We keep track of the numbers and keep track of the stats for the season. And again, we just have fun with it. And what we're going to be doing now is heading over to a break. Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show presented by Caesars Sportsbook. We'll be right back after this.
With costs going up, Adam and Eve is the best deal around. With 50% off a sexy adult product at adamandeve.com. That's 50% off right now when you point the camera on your smartphone at the code on the screen. Don't get up. Just open your camera and point it at the screen. Hurry! You'll also get 10 free gifts, including free discreet shipping at checkout. This is your chance to get more for less. So scan now for 50% off plus 10 free gifts from adamandeve.com.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show presented by Caesars Sportsbook. Caesars Sportsbook, the home of Caesars Rewards. Caesars is with us all season long, regular season, playoffs, big game. And we've got a brand new offer for our viewers and listeners. Caesars.com/sportsbook-n-casino. You sign up and make your first deposit with the promo code PIKE, DYW. That's short for double your winnings.
Okay.
PIKE, DYW. And after your first cash bet of $1 or more, you will get 10 100% profit boost tokens. Terms and conditions apply. Problem gambling, 800, gambler, and 21 years and older. Did that all in the wrong order there.
Right.
But anyway, we're going with it. But again, promo code PIKE, DYW, double your winnings.
Okay.
Brand new offer from Caesars Sportsbook.
So Pike, DYW.
Yes.
All right.
And here we are, Week 13. We just recapped Week 12. We did some stats and facts from the previous week. We are now here in our pick segment. And here are the rules once again. We use Caesars Sportsbook midweek lines. Please check the lines before you place a bet after listening to our show. We are using midweek. They could possibly change by the time kickoff rolls around, or depending upon when you're taking your bets.
Yep.
Or making your bets, I should say. We do 3 games each, point spreads and totals. We do not do money line. And we just play against each other, and we keep track of each and every week's stats, and I tally them up every week and do the season-long stats as well. So, also, we don't know what our picks are for these for these games each week.
We do our games separately, and before we start taping here, we want to know what games we have in common, so we get those first and get them over the way. It's a formatting thing, but
production.
Even though we right now know which games we have, we don't know what bets we have on those games.
No, we specifically avoid telling each other that before taping time.
So.
And with that out of the way, let's head on over to game number 1. First game of the week, and this is one of the games we have in common.
By the way, we have 2 games in common.
We have 2 games in common.
That's never happened this season yet.
Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati's favored by 2.5. There's an over-under of 47 here. This game represents another chance for Mike Tomlin to pick up a division win. They tried it against Cleveland. The snow said otherwise, and it was a horrible game for Pittsburgh. They're now here in Cincinnati. I wonder if we're going to see more snow with that.
Who knows? It's football in that area of the country is so much fun because the weather becomes such a big part of it.
It also makes the game more fun to watch,
too.
Absolutely. I always think so. I like
Absolutely.
snowball. But here we have Pittsburgh coming in. They're 5-1 against the spread over their last 6. Bengals come in riding a 2-game losing streak. They're 1-1 against the spread over those last 2 games. They're 1-3 against the spread at their last 4 home games. Pittsburgh's 4-2 against the spread as a visitor. Steelers have been an underdog by 1.5 points or more 4 times this year and covered all 4 of those times. They've also won all 4 of those games. I think we're going to see 5. So I'm Pittsburgh and plus 2.5.
I'm on the exact opposite of you. Look, I love what the Steelers have done, and especially their defense all season long. But if you look closely at this game, I'm going to have to give the edge to the Bengals. Steelers have lost each of their last 7 December road games against AFC opponents, and against those AFC opponents, the Steelers have failed to cover the spread in each of their last 7 December games. Meanwhile, the Bengals have won 12 of their last 15 games at Paycor Stadium against teams with winning records and have covered the spread in each of their last 5 December home games against opponents from the AFC North. Look, big fan of the Steelers. Defense is awesome, probably the best in the country, but I think it's going to be a great game. I'm giving the edge to the Bengals in this one, so I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals. Going head-to-head now. All right, I like this.
Good place to catch up ground for you, or I extend my lead.
Absolutely, I'm going to catch up ground now. See, that's what I have to do. I have to. Yeah, I don't know what you're picking or anything like that, so I have to anticipate what you're picking so I can go against you and gain some ground on you. See, that's my philosophy. I didn't know you were picking the Steelers, so. That's pretty cool that we're going up against.
I've got I got a big enough lead right now that I could try some things.
Okay, there you go. Try some things.
Let's head on over to the second game of the week. Game number 2, and I think we have this one in common as well.
Yeah. Okay, I'm excited about it. Hopefully you have an opposite or a different bet as mine, but go ahead. Let's hear it. We've
got Los Angeles Chargers favored by 1.5 at the Atlanta Falcons. There's an over-under of 47.5 in this game.
Okay, I got 48 though. So that's just important to check the lines. I just checked it.
You just checked it when it changed to 48.
I can check it.
I just did mine about an hour ago before taping time, and it was 47.5.
All right. Well, let me go check.
So. But anyway, Atlanta's. I'm not going with the total anyway, so it's neither here nor there for my analysis.
See now I'm excited because I went with the total.
Atlanta lost 2 games in a row before their bye and is just 1 game ahead of Tampa Bay in the standings for the NFC South. Los Angeles is coming off a really tough loss against the Baltimore Ravens on Monday night. Atlanta's leading the NFC South, even though they have a point differential of -30, which is kind of weird to see a division leader with a -30 point differential, which bothered me a lot when I started looking at this game. Falcons are 0-3 against AFC teams this season. They've lost to the Steelers, the Chiefs, and the Broncos. Chargers are right up there, and even though they're down a wide receiver, they're missing a wide receiver, they're potentially down a running back for whatever time J.K. Dobbins got hurt in the Monday night game. It's kind of interesting to see whether or not Atlanta can do what Baltimore did. I don't think Atlanta's in the same weight class as Baltimore in terms of their defense, so maybe that won't make a big difference. I'm hoping it doesn't. Los Angeles is 4-0 against the spread over their last 4 games, while Atlanta is 2-3 against the spread in their last 5 home games. They don't do too good at home. Los Angeles is now playing for the postseason, and they gotta put some wins together here, and I think Harbaugh's got this team going in the right direction. Their defense should recover from what Baltimore did because Atlanta doesn't have the same style running game that Baltimore does. So I'm thinking Los Angeles and laying the 1.5.
Okay, I just checked. The total is 48, which I love. I love it. Look, at this point in the season, both these teams' offense are having a difficult time right now. The Falcons were blown out by Denver, which I couldn't believe. And the Chargers' offense was pretty ineffective against the Ravens with a 5 out of 14 success rate on third down. So not very good against the Ravens last week. You get this. Each of the Falcons' last 10 games as underdogs on the East Coast have gone under the total point line. And each of the Chargers' last 6 Sunday games played on the East Coast have gone under the point line as well. They're playing on the East Coast this time. If that wasn't enough, here we go. You mentioned the stadium. 5 out of the last 6 Sunday games at Mercedes-Benz Stadium have gone under the point line. So I'm taking the under, especially at 48. It's actually going up from what you said from an hour ago.
Yep.
That's why it's important to check the lines.
Yep.
Different points. So 48, I'm going under.
Under 48?
Under 48. I love it.
Okay. Let's head on over to the last game of the week. Final game for me for Week 13, Indianapolis Colts favored by 3 at the New England Patriots. There's an over-under of 42.5. I don't know what to say about Indianapolis. They're 8-4 against the spread this season.
They are a good spread team,
yes.
By the way. Not bad at all.
Even with benching Anthony Richardson for 1 or 2 games to let Flacco start.
Don't play him on the money line.
No. They're 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 road games, facing a New England team that just got destroyed by the Miami Dolphins. New England's 1-3 against the spread in their last 4 home games, and they are on a 2-game losing streak. I like Drake May. I didn't think I would like Drake May, but I like the way he plays the game. I like the rushing. He had another 15-yard rushing game. He had a 15-yard rush during the game, so that's a good stat to keep an eye on for prop betting on Drake May.
I actually had his rushing.
Yes.
I had a prop bet last week.
Well, you had his total, not his longest run.
Run.
He's always got a 15-yard run somehow, but he might just be the quarterback of the future for the New England Patriots. I don't think the rest of the team is quite there yet.
Well, it depends on how they build around him and how they coach him up.
Like I said, they're not there yet.
Yep.
He is, but the rest of the team is not. And I'm going back to my maxim here. If Anthony Richardson is playing, you go with the Colts in the spread. I'm doing Colts and laying the 3 points.
Okay, my third game is the Seattle Seahawks, who are favored by 2.5 points against your beloved New York Jets with a total of 41.5 points. Look, the Jets are a mess right now. It's obvious something's wrong with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's refusing scans and things like that. So that doesn't bode well for the New York Jets offense. For me, this game screams another under. I rarely take 2 unders, but this just seems like it is. 8 of the Seahawks' last 9 Sunday road games have gone under the point line total. And as for the Jets, 6 of their last Sunday games as underdogs have gone under the point line as well. I mean, again, we look at the stadiums. I looked at the stadium, the last one. Let's take a look at MetLife Stadium. 6 of the last 8 Sunday games at MetLife Stadium have gone under the point line. I don't know what the weather is going to be, but something playing about northern Jersey in December does something to people. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of scoring in this game. So I know it's not a high point total, but 41.5, I'm going under.
See, I was thinking Seattle could get 41 points all by themselves the way the Jets have been playing.
I don't know, but something again. It's another West Coast team,
and Geno Smith's
playing
homecoming
outside in Jersey.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
so
Geno Smith coming back home.
So it's a little cold out there.
Yep. So those are our 3 games each for Week 13. We'll be right back to recap it and close out the show. Be right back. Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show presented by Caesars Sports.
If you don't have final expense life insurance, this message is for you. LifeCare provides valuable information about whole life insurance to help cover final expenses, medical bills, burial costs, and other final expenses. A final expense life insurance policy is fast and available to anyone between the ages of 50 and 80. No medical exam, no lengthy questionnaires, and no waiting period. Just answer a few questions and we'll do the rest. With the average funeral costing $9,420 and Social Security only paying $255, you need simple peace of mind for you and your whole family. Don't leave behind unpaid expenses. Your premium will never increase. Your policy will have a cash value and a death benefit that can never decrease. To find out how you can get final expense life insurance with a lifetime lock, call 800-601-9488. That's 800-601-9488.
Sign up at jackpot.com and you can bet on the world's best lotteries where the biggest jackpots are up for grabs. Powerball, Mega Millions, some of the biggest lotteries can be found at jackpot.com. Simply choose your lotto game, pick your numbers, or use their quick pick feature, and you're done. Sign up at jackpot.com with code DRAW24 and get a free lottery ticket with your first deposit. Jackpot.com, it's the world of lotto in your hand.
Terms and conditions apply. You must be at least 18 years old and in the United States to play. Void where prohibited. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show presented by Caesars Sportsbook. Caesars Sportsbook, the home of Caesars Rewards. We just did our Week 13 picks, 3 each, and why don't you go ahead and recap for everybody?
All right, in Game 1, I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals and laying the 2.5 points against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm taking the under 48 points in the Los Angeles Chargers Atlanta Falcon game. And I'm taking the under 41.5 points in the Seattle Seahawks New York Jets game.
I'm taking the opposite side of the Pittsburgh game. I'm going Pittsburgh and taking the plus 2.5. Los Angeles Chargers, I'm laying the 1.5 against the Atlanta Falcons, and I'm going with the Anthony Richardson-led Indianapolis Colts and laying the 3 against the New England Patriots. Those are our 3 games each for Week 13. They will be put up on our blog, turnpikesports.us. Click on the blog button. They'll be in print form there on the blog. Feel free to comment there. Feel free to email us with your thoughts, info@turnpikesportsradio.com. Feel free to follow us on social media. We've got Instagram, Turnpike Sports Radio, Facebook, Turnpike Sports, and on X, we are Turnpike Sports and Turnpike Bets. There's 2 of us there on the social media side for X there. So there are 2 addresses there. Follow each one, follow the other. Yep. Either way. But anyway, those are our picks. They'll be there. Feel free to reach out to us, and love interacting and hearing from everyone out there, viewers and listeners alike.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike. Good luck, everyone.